Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keith Hunsinger. I'm a resident of the President Street section of Wall Township. I was here last week about the ordinance banning cannabis. I believe it was 11-2021. I just wanted to correct the record on a couple things that I said last week. So it wasn't actually 67%, it was 62% of Wall Township residents. The vote tally was 10,969 to 6,724 that said no. So that's roughly about two-thirds of Wall Township voted yes. And I have an illustration right here if any of you guys would like to check that out afterwards. So that was according to monmouthcountyvotes.com. I got that website from the county clerk's office. I also wanted to address something that I had said to committee Megan regarding the childhood use of cannabis. I actually agree with many of the things you said last week. I too don't want to see children using cannabis, and it's actually proven in Colorado after legalization that adolescent use of cannabis, alcohol, and other drugs dropped because the illegal market did not flourish once the legal market was in place. So I think that honestly this might be a good way to achieve a common goal. And as far as a reason why that happened was because you have more oversight from the production and sale from the local authorities. So they're able to make sure that nobody that is under 21 is going into this place. So I also have in my pocket a container from a legal dispensary in Massachusetts. As you can see, it is very strictly labeled. So you have to show your ID twice just to get anything from it. So it also has the number of THC on it. It says not safe for kids. So it does have all the markings that it's supposed to. It says this product has not been analyzed or approved by the FDA. So yes, that is true. While it is not FDA approved, it is still somewhat regulated. I believe this could be something that could be helpful to our town. And as far as Mr. Orenberg, I believe his comments, not in my town, kind of sounded a little bit odd. It should be not in our town. I don't know if he realizes how that sounded. I'm sorry. It did sound, when you said I will not have this in my town, it's our town.
Exactly. I'm going to represent our town.
Okay. Well, are you representing the 10,000 voters that voted yes for?
If they want me out, they can vote me out. Right?
Okay, it's not a back and forth show, so if you want to finish your 5 minutes, you have a minute and a half. As far as voting me out, well, yes, I mean, if I'm still allowed to have my 5 minutes, yeah, go ahead. Okay, what do you have to say?
No, I said I'm
Oh, okay, so as far as, not in my town, I believe that also sounded very authoritarian, especially from somebody who was a former narcotics officer, who was on the opposite side of this issue. You spent a lot of time locking up people for cannabis. So I think that somebody such as yourself should stick to the voters, not your personal opinion.
My prerogative.
Well, your prerogative is to be a representative of the people. You work for us. We don't work for you. And same thing when you were an officer, you work for us.
Respond to you?
Yeah?
Am I allowed to respond to you?
If you want.
I don't want to take up your time.
I mean,
So when you talk about I'm working for the people of Wall, I can tell you, I've probably got 100 calls to say, please don't pass this, as to maybe one call that said, you realize there's people out there needs medical marijuana? And I'm okay with medical marijuana. I don't like recreational marijuana. That's just my...
Did we maybe compromise on a medical dispensary with them then? I feel like maybe that might be...
Let me explain something to you. We had a meeting with the person who wanted to put a medical dispensary. You know why they lost that ability to do that? Because the question was asked them, if someone showed up at the dispensary totally ossified, will you refuse service? I can't. What do you mean you can't? If someone totally outside in the bar, they could be refused service, correct?
Yes.
I couldn't do the same thing in the dispensary. They said they can't. I said, so you're going to let that person leave your building, get in the car and drive away. We have no to say about that. Well, then they lost all ability to even think about putting one in our town.
Well,
that's my opinion.
Let me ask you something. As a former narcotics officer, would you say that alcohol and cannabis are equal in power?
I say the stages that we're getting to between when we went from prohibition to allowing alcohol to prohibition on marijuana to allowing it, it's the same level. It's baby steps to learn how to do this, okay? So with that being said, right now, I'm not fully in open arms to accept it, except for medical purposes.
Would anybody here be willing to maybe meet with me in person and talk about it? So 5 minutes is not really a whole lot of time for me to make my case. And I always say I'm showing that I'm passionate about it. I'm well educated. I come with facts. So if any of you, I would really love to schedule something to where I can talk to you in person, especially you, because I feel like even though we're diametrically opposed on this issue, I feel like there is common ground we could meet.
Sure.
So that's basically all I wanted to say, and I would hope that you guys, I don't know if any of you guys have reconsidered. I would hope that you do. I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you very much for your time, and have a great night.
Thank you.
In terms of Mr. Hunsinger, I would like to say one thing to you. I appreciate the amount of information that you've come with, and what I think that we're at an impasse here is legalization versus distribution. I don't think any of us, and I think the 10,000 people plus that voted in Wall Township agree with you in terms of the legality of it and the benefits and such. I think where they diverge is in the distribution in the town. I don't think any of us would again, say anything negative about you personally using it or having it delivered to your house or anything like that. I think it just comes down to the fact that although maybe 10,000 people do agree that it has its benefits, maybe not all of them share in your feelings in terms of having it in close proximity to their house. That's all. And then I guess I appreciate you coming out and bringing everything up. I just want to make sure that you know that where at least I stand. I can't speak for all the people, but where I stand on it, I think, I don't want you to come look at and confuse those two. I think that's where our interest is.
No, this is not the time. You've had your chance.
If you want to talk to me after, we can talk.
Yeah.
All right? That's all I have for tonight, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Beck.
Just briefly, democracy.
Talk in the microphone, please.
This is democracy in action itself. Excuse me, do not interrupt me. You can't hear
In
me.
the microphone.
I have nothing further to say, but all that I can say is I appreciate the young lady's concerns about the masks, and I'm very appreciative that you have an ally in the entire committee who lines up behind you. More importantly, committee man lined up, presented, drafted the resolution. She has kids, she gets it, we get it, we support her, and as it relates to the cannabis issue, we're here to listen, we're going to work with you. We have no other ulterior motive whatsoever. So we're here, it's a democracy, you tell us what you think, and I'll tell you what I think, whether we're on the line or not on the line. But I think you can hear me. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Beck. I don't have much. I do want to thank Committeeman Orenda for his service on the New York Police Department as a narcotics officer. It's a tough job, tough job. I want to thank you for that.